Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our OsteoStrong podcast called #StrongMe. Today, I am your host, Anna Edkins, and I have a very special guest here, one of our long-term clients here at OsteoStrong who's become a good friend, Sue Schaffel. I'll let you take it away, Sue.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm really excited to be here. My name is Sue Schaffel. I am an OsteoStrong client. I've been coming, I think if you see me on the board, I'm at 66 or 67. I'm reaching myself. But anyway, just to say a little bit about me. I'm a new Floridian.
Okay.
I've always wanted to be here since I met my husband, and he was born and raised in Miami, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a snowbird. And then he's like, oh, no, I don't like Florida, I like Florida, I don't like Florida. I was like, well, hello? No, that's why I started dating you.
Yeah.
To be in Florida. So it took me 3 decades to get him back down here, but I did it, and I'm very, very happy.
Wow.
So the Naples OsteoStrong is the best. Anyway, yes, it is. So I was formerly in the medical profession. I was a medical tech for years and years and years and years, and also worked with kids, teaching them in Sunday school, youth groups, camp, things like that. And all along, I was just a part-time actor, and now I'm a full-time actor.
Awesome.
And so that's what I do down here. Lots of good theater and things, and it's good. So yeah, that's me in a little nutshell.
Yeah, actually, I recall going to one of your performances.
That's right.
And it was amazing.
Thank you.
So, looking forward to the next.
It's coming up in April.
Okay.
Can I plug?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to be doing a show called The Foreigner at
Okay.
Players Circle
Okay.
Theater up in Fort Myers.
Wonderful.
So we open, I think, April 18th or something, and we run for a month. So
Okay.
yeah, it'll be good. So
Stay tuned.
stay tuned.
Wonderful. Well, Sue, thank you so much for telling us about you, and it really is great to have you here and going to be able to share your story with our clients in the community. Before we go into that, I just want to reiterate what the purpose of all this is. And the idea behind starting this podcast was to be able to reach people in the community with our stories and what we've gone through and how we can help others, whether it's just letting them know they're not alone, or giving them advice. Before we dive deep into that, I'd like to know if you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be?
Funny.
Okay, I agree with that.
Trustworthy.
Yeah.
And slightly intimidating.
Yes, I also agree with that. All in good spirits, though. All in good fun. Well,
I could go on and on. There's so many more words to describe me, but we'll stick with those 3 for now.
Perfect. So today, what are you going to share with us? What hardship did you go through that you're willing to share about?
Well, I had cancer. I was diagnosed in 2007 with breast cancer, and which didn't really surprise me all that much when I really thought back on it. I was in my 40s, but from the get-go, my cells just did stuff. It wasn't my first tumor. Let's just put it that way. Like, when they say it's not your first rodeo, this was not my first tumor. It was my first malignant tumor, but not my first tumor. I had surgery when I was in 5th grade. Took them 3 times to get this tumor out of my back.
Wow.
I've had other stuff going on, so it didn't really surprise me that my cells changed in a way that all of a sudden now I have cancer. What did surprise me was when you go in and your surgeon says to you after your biopsy that you have cancer. Oh, here, take these books, and I'll see you in a week, and you tell me which way you want to go.
Yeah, no guidance.
I'm like, what? And what I did not do, and this is a huge, what do you call it? Suggestion.
Yeah.
Don't go on the internet, no matter what you have. Cold, whatever. Don't go on the internet because there's so many things that will scare the life out of you. So 80% of all breast biopsies are negative.
Wow.
And so I thought, okay, well, if it doesn't look bad to you, you would probably know.
Yeah.
So when I did go back in, I was a little shocked when the doctor said it was cancer. I was like, wait a minute, I'm the 20%?
Yeah.
So anyway, but
well, I'll definitely be getting my mammogram.
yes, please do.
Yes.
Yes.
How old were you when you started getting your mammograms?
Probably at 40, I would say, when I think back in the day, you know, I think it was 40.
Okay.
I don't really remember.
Yeah.
I just know that I would go every year.
Yeah.
You know. I also worked in OBGYN.
Okay.
So I knew what to do.
Yeah, you were familiar.
Yeah.
During that time, so let's talk about your physical body.
Okay.
During that time, what do you recall experiencing aside from surgeries? Was there any other difference? I know you said you went through radiation. How did that affect you physically?
It was interesting because radiation doesn't affect you right, at least me, personally speaking. It didn't affect me right away.
Okay.
I didn't feel anything. I luckily had great technicians and a great radiology oncologist. I had no burns, I had no blisters, I had nothing. I would go in Monday through Friday. I had 7 weeks of radiation. I would go in Monday through Friday every day, and then, was off on the weekends. And the only thing I remember on that point was I didn't wear a bra. But I don't really need to wear a bra anyway, so it's okay. But I just didn't wear a bra, and I just remember being more tan on this quadrant than the rest of my body, but I didn't really have any side effects until much later. The radiation is over, you're back to work, you're raising your children, you're doing everything, and all of a sudden it just hit me that I was really, really tired.
Okay.
And I was really tired for a very long time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And one day I woke up, years later, it was probably 2 or 3 years later, that I woke up and I thought, I think it's all out of my body now because now I'm not tired. And I just woke up, it was just like that. And just, okay, done.
That's so awesome.
And off I went. But it was interesting because it wasn't right away. You think, oh, you're going to start feeling it. Whatever. I didn't have any of the physical things, and I know a lot of people do, and I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
But psychologically, I was fine, sort of, kind of, a couple panic attacks here and there, but
sure.
But other than that, no. It was just really being tired and going one day, look, I'm not tired anymore.
Yeah. So when you got the diagnosis of breast cancer, how did you feel in that moment? How do you naturally handle adversity? How do you naturally accept the things you don't want to hear?
Okay, that's a really good question. So, like I said, my cells change periodically through my life.
Yeah.
Prior to breast cancer, I was diagnosed, I had a tumor in my spinal cord. And
been through it.
And I was more afraid then than I was with the breast cancer.
Yeah.
Because number one, I wanted to wake up from that surgery. I wanted to be able to walk from that surgery. I wanted to be able to, all
it's
that
riskier.
kind of. It was to me, I felt it was risky.
I would think so.
I remember at the time that I just would look at my husband's face as the doctor was talking. Now I'm the one that has the medical background, so I know all the jargon, the terminology, all of this stuff. But I would look at my husband, who knows nothing about it, and just watch him. And if he was nodding and being okay about something, then I was going to be nodding and okay about something. And it was the same thing with the breast cancer. I'm sitting there next to him, just facing him. The surgeon's over there, and she's talking, and I'm just watching my husband. And he's like, just nodding and being okay. And then I knew it was going to be okay.
That's really cool. It's a good way to look at it.
And it was. Because he says to me, well, if I thought that it was going to be bad, then it was, then I would or you can go and get a mastectomy. And I thought, well,
Yeah.
I, at that point, had probably had at least 10 different surgeries, again, to remove all these fat cells in my body. I didn't want another surgery, so I thought, okay, well, we'll go with plan A, because there's always plan B.
Yeah.
But it's individual for every single solitary person. Now, you know, sometimes I think, oh, maybe I should have, because then I wouldn't have to have, you know, go through the mammograms and the, you know, even though you do, because
Yeah.
I have a whole other side I have to worry about. But it was a decision that I made, and I thought, okay, well, if I go with plan A and it doesn't work out, then I always have plan B. So knock on wood,
yes,
it's worked out so far.
Wonderful.
There
well, we're happy to hear that.
Thank you.
With those decisions that you've made during that time, do you feel like there's anything you could go back and change to better that moment? Do you feel very confident with all the decisions you made?
Yeah, I usually don't. I'm very decisive.
Okay.
And once I make a decision, I'm pretty, you know, good at it. I like that chair, yeah, let's get that chair. I like that paint color, let's get that packing here. And it's the same thing with surgeries. I mean, you have to do it, you go do it, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And then you move on, and you got other stuff. It never stopped me from doing anything. I didn't sit there and ponder, and I wasn't, you know, I'm not afraid that, you know, it was ever going to come back. I mean, granted, you get to that 5-year mark, and you go, you know.
Wow.
But then you know there's still always a chance. I mean, statistically, there's still a chance that once you get past that 5-year mark, you might get it again.
Yeah.
Or you might get cancer in another part of your body. But it's those milestones that you hit your 1 year, you hit your 5-year. You know, I made my husband buy me a car.
That's not bad.
Yeah, whatever. And you go on, and now it's been, I mean, I don't do math, but it's been a while, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
Good, wonderful. So. During that time when you were facing any challenges mentally or physically, what would you say to those going through it right now? So thinking back to when you were in that position, is there anything you can say to those that might be experiencing the same situation?
You know, it was interesting. There was one time that I remember I was at home and I was sitting outside that I never did before. And I was reading a magazine that I picked up at the surgeon's office. And it was all about stories and, you know, people's angst about everything. I was like, and I'm reading this and thinking I'm fine. And I go in the house and I can't find my husband. And I'm like, honey, and all of a sudden I went into hyperventilation.
Yeah, panic.
And it was my very first panic attack. I didn't know what it was. And I'm grabbing a bag to you know, and I'm like, he finally comes in. I'm like, where are you? And like, he's like, what's going on? What? He's like, honey, call 911. And anyway, so 911 comes, and you know, and I've always loved firemen, and the firemen come with the medics. You know, I don't know if everybody knows that, but they do. And so I calmed down enough, but they was like, let's go, let's just take you in, let's calm you down a little bit, you know, and it was a full-blown panic attack, because I felt, I'm all alone, what happened? And it just was triggered by this article that I was reading. That was the last time I ever read anything on cancer, nothing. I don't read the news, I don't listen to the news, I don't look up anything. I sort of walk through life with rose-colored glasses on and be happy, because I can't, something will trigger something in a lot of people, and I don't want to do that. Nope. So I try and stay positive, and so when you're going through that, look, it's a shock. It is a shock. That C word, you know, back in the day, it used to be, oh my God, did you hear? She has the cancer. Now it's, people talk about it, but when they talk about just didn't let it stop me from doing anything.
Yeah, you don't want
You
it
know?
to define you.
No, and I've never felt like it was anything other than I had some crazy cells that wanted to do something different. I got them all out, thank God, and I'm going to move on. And, you know, if I have, you know, another opportunity to go through this again, hopefully I'll have the same, you know, outlook on it. And it's just, you know, it's interesting because people don't know what to say to you, or they don't know how to treat you, or they're afraid to, you know, whatever. My advice to anybody who knows somebody who's going through this.
This is great advice, by the way.
Just be you.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who's going through a traumatic, it doesn't necessarily need to be surgery. It could be a death in the family. It could be a divorce. It could be I didn't get into the school I wanted. It could be anything. Somebody just needs a hug. Somebody just needs to have you sit there and listen if they want to talk. If they don't want to talk, silence is golden. And just sit there and smile at them and know that somebody's there. You know, that's the biggest thing. It's just, you know, you don't have to get into the minutia of it. You don't have to, you know, go overboard. You just have to be there for somebody. And however on their level, whatever they need. And when I was going through this, I needed a lot of candy.
It's not the worst vice.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst. But it was, you know, that's all. That's, you know, I had a good support system, and that was very important to me. You know.
Yeah.
My husband never made a big deal about it.
That's nice.
You know, he would literally take me every day. He drove me every day to radiation, and he would sit in the waiting room and just be on his phone. And I would look at him and go, "What about me, honey?" You know. But I knew that his relaxation showed me that everything was going to be okay.
Yeah.
And that was really when I really think about it. Instead of him being like, "Honey, honey, honey, honey," because I guess I didn't need that. Because that's not what he gave me. He gave me the, "You're okay." Companionship, that's all.
Yeah.
So, and his silence was golden. You know, when I wanted to freak out, he was there too. But silence was golden.
Yeah, so sometimes not putting your foot in the mouth.
Sometimes, yeah. Because sometimes people, they do talk. I talk a lot, you know. And I remember I was taking a swim aerobics class with a couple friends, and she was one that'd be like, "Oh, look, she's had breast cancer. See her scar?" And I'm like, "No, no." You know, and she would go up to them and be like, "Hey, you want to see my scar?" And I was like, "No, don't do that." Don't be overbearing as a friend. Just be there, because that's what people need, no matter what they're going through.
I love that.
You know, and if anybody's out there who lives in the Naples that needs somebody who just wants to, you know, sit there and smile at them, you give me a call, because I'm really good at that.
I love that, Sue. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you so much for just talking about your life and your experiences and being open about it to share with others, because I'm sure if not one, but many can take from what you're saying.
Aw, thank you.
So, yeah, of course. Is there anything else you want to share just with your experience?
Well, can we talk about osteo for a minute?
I would love to.
Okay. So,
yes.
Okay. I don't believe you were here yet.
Okay.
But I saw it must have been online somewhere about this OsteoStrong, because I do have osteoporosis, and was going through getting the reclass, and you know my numbers were kind of thing. So I see this about, okay, come in 10 minutes, do you know the whole thing, and I'm thinking, this is probably too good to be true. But you know what? They're coming to Naples.
Yeah.
It's a free session. I'm going to do it. So I
better.
sign up, okay? I walk into this space.
I know what you're going to say.
And there was trust us. And for some reason, I did.
We're so glad you did.
And it was really the best thing because my numbers have gotten so much better.
Yes.
It is the easiest thing. These people here, I'm telling you, are you looking at me? Are you okay? Are you seeing this? These people here at the OsteoStrong of Naples, friendly, outgoing, they make it fun, they're encouraging, they are behind you, they want you to succeed because not only is it their job, but they tend to become a part of your life.
Yeah.
And it's a weekly thing, and I love coming in here, and it's not hard, it is not hard at all. You get your goals, and when I go back year after year now to do my bone scans, and they go, wow, look at you. You know, I'm off medication. I'm still taking my vitamin D, my vitamin C, you know, my calcium, those kinds of things. Don't stop that. You know, eat a little cheese now and then. But anyway, so I'm all about the OsteoStrong. It has helped me. I believe I am stronger.
Yes.
I play pickleball, and I believe I am stronger because of the OsteoStrong.
Yes.
And obviously my insides are benefiting from me coming here once a week. So.
And I love that you're so passionate, and you can talk about how strong you've become with OsteoStrong, even going through cancer. Yeah. So it just shows.
It just shows.
Anybody can participate.
Anybody can. It doesn't matter. It is.
Yeah.
And they do have the machines now.
Yes.
They are filled with everything that you need and more.
Yes.
And it is a pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, you've been with us for what, 2 years now?
Yeah, just about.
It's been a fun ride.
It's been a fun ride. It will continue.
Yes.
It will continue.
Well, that's wonderful. So you said you have osteoporosis and osteopenia. Have you been able to reverse, gain bone density?
Okay, so I had osteoporosis in both my spine and my hips.
Okay.
My hips are now osteopenia.
Woo! Thanks to osteopenia.
Yes, and my spine is getting there.
Okay.
The numbers are getting better.
Okay.
So it's not going to be. I believe next year when I do my bone scan, we're going to all be good.
And you're not on any bone health medication. So OsteoStrong works for you. Amazing. So this is great, and I don't have anything else for you. So if there's anything else you'd like to say to our listeners, please feel free to share.
What can I say? I think the bottom line is that just go through life and look for the good. Look for the good in people, look for the good in things. Try and stay on the positive. There's always something that you can get out of any situation. There's a reason that things happen. I wholeheartedly believe that. Sometimes you don't know what that reason is going to be for a very, very long time. I still don't know why I've gone through what I've gone through, or my mother dying, or whatever it is. There's a reason, and I'm patient, and I will eventually find out what these reasons are. But just look for the good, and you'll be happy.
Yeah, I totally believe that. I mean, you attract what you think about. You attract what you're doing, and it's the same thing. If we're constantly thinking negative, we're going to be negative people.
True.
So I believe what you're saying.
It's all about the positive.
Yes.
And there's always something. As horrible as something is, you can always find that star, that little shine of something, and hold on to that. It might be minutia, but hold on to that because that's the only thing you can hold on to, and eventually